Mira sat in her small, dimly lit apartment, surrounded by the flickering glow of candles. The air was thick with the scent of incense, herbs, and something old, something that felt ancient and powerful. On the table in front of her lay a worn, leather-bound book with pages yellowed by time. The spine cracked as she turned to the page that promised her exactly what she wanted: a love spell Mira had never imagined herself turning to magic. She wasn't the type. Logical, practical, those were the words that described her. But after months of watching Jordan drift away, after seeing him in the arms of another woman, her resolve had crumbled. Love had a way of making people desperate, and Mira was no exception. She had tried everything to win him back. Texts that went unanswered, calls that ended in cold indifference, showing up at his favorite places, hoping for a chance encounter. Nothing worked. Jordan, the man who had once been everything to her, was now a distant memory. But not for long. Mira ran her fingers over the ingredients. She had gathered a red candle, a strand of Jordan's hair she'd stolen from his apartment during their last argument, and a small vial of her own blood. The spell required something personal, something that bound them together. Her hands trembled as she began the incantation, her voice soft at first, but growing stronger as the words tumbled from her lips. The language was unfamiliar, ancient, and it felt wrong in her mouth, like she was speaking something that shouldn't be spoken. But she pushed through, driven by her heartache and longing. The room seemed to grow colder as she spoke, the shadows around her lengthening, twisting in the corners of her vision. The candle flame flickered violently, and for a moment, Mira hesitated. And a sudden gust of wind blew through the room, extinguishing the candle in an instant. Silence fell, heavy and oppressive. Mira sat frozen in place, her heart pounding in her chest. Had it worked? There was no immediate sign, no glowing aura or mystical shimmer in the air. Everything was as it had been, silent, still, and dimly lit by the dying light of the remaining candles. She stood up slowly, her mind racing. What now? Would Jordan come to her? Would he call, professing his undying love? Mira glanced at her phone, half expecting it to ring. But there was nothing, just silence. And then, the knock at the door. Her heart leaped into her throat. She rushed over, expecting Jordan to be on the other side, his eyes filled with the passion she had longed for. But when she opened the door, it was empty. The hallway was vacant, and the air felt thick with an odd tension. Frowning, Mira closed the door, telling herself it must have been her imagination. Maybe the spell would take time to work. Maybe another knock, this time louder, insistent.